Hello and welcome to another set of turns here. We are playing as Sceleria. We're going to be jumping in on turn 18. I have lost turn 17. Yeah, not hiding anywhere. Okay. Someone has claimed the Throne of War. I have to check who that is. I think that's Marignon. We've got a battle of Morgan Champions and Morvarks, taking out a bunch of Rilliers guys. Let's go ahead and take a look here. We obviously have a lot of MR in our Bless, so we get up to a respectable 17 to avoid Mind Blast. Now this is just the PD Mind Blaster, so not too much going on there. We go ahead and take a fight here against Satis, nobody present. And we have, I believe, our big fight. Here we go. We've got our big fight coming up against this army of Agarthans. So they're going to get off Divine Blessing. They've got some of these attentive these attentive statues up front, and then a lot of shard guard, a whole line of shard guard. 5 of their golem crafters, the Oracle of the Ancients with earth gems and some boots. And then Agarthan heavy infantry. On our side, we've got Lungdead, Retarii, or actually I think these are gladiators, in the back. I just call them all Retarii, but they're not. All of our human infantry in the middle, and a bunch of slingers. The slingers are not going to accomplish a lot. We just sort of have them as Satis protection. And then we're going to be doing our Communion Master pair of Communion Slaves into Apostasy spam, as well as putting up our sort of usual undead stuff. So let's go ahead and play. You can see our slingers are going to fire here. They're not going to accomplish that. We got Power of the Sepulchre, we got Unholy Power, and then we're going to start spamming Apostasies. So we got lots of fighting going on here in the front. Let's turn on, we have Apostasy going, so let's turn on Team Colored Squares. Team Colored Squares C. Okay. And you can see, look, we got him. Well, we'll go back and watch it again. We got their Ancient of the Oracle of the Ancients, who then immediately stabbed or threw rocks and killed 2 of their golem crafters at point blank range. Absolutely hilarious. Unfortunately, then their infantry does come back. He killed another one by whacking him before he gets killed by their heavy infantry. Our gladiators all run into the middle, though, which is kind of unfortunate. They're gonna fight into these attentive statues, but they don't get the corner or the edge sort of on the shard guard the way I hoped. You can see we just took a shard guard there. So the way it looks is that we're not going to have enough troops, right? Our long dead are almost entirely expended. Let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit here on the fight. We're still spamming Apostasy, but it's been less effective than I think I'd hoped in fighting their general troops. Obviously, killing their mage leader was completely hilarious. But yeah, keep checking. We can see we pretty much lost this wing. They're going to collapse in on our gladiators. You can see how many times, let's see, V. How many times we try and hit this guy with our Apostasy, but we basically need a huge roll to take it because it's 7 against 14 as the base. So it's pretty unlikely for us to steal these guys. But we are killing some. We have gotten one there. We've gotten one here. They do then, of course, immediately take our Bless instead of their God's Bless. So they've got Blood Surge going. Which is pretty funny. Go ahead and speed this up, though. I think you can sort of see where this is generally going. We route off some more of them, but these Shard Guard are going to be a little bit too much. and we are going to rout off the field. They were about to lose. They have this one commander left who didn't rout. One cave captain. And so we do lose our 2 slave communion slaves. So we killed 3 golem crafters, an oracle, 22 shard guard, plus some other stuff. We lost 2 thaumaturgs, 10 legionaries, all the gladiators, all the hastati, and then the long dead. So it's unfortunately a loss, but when we go ahead and look at the cost, right? Each of these golem crafters is 210. That's 600 gold. This guy's almost 400 by himself. Excuse me, by himself. All combined, that's 1,000. These are each 10, so that's 80. These are gems, I believe. And then each one of these is 45. So every 5 is 200 gold, and they lost 22. That's another it's like 800 something gold. So they lost we'll call it 2,000 gold in toto. We lost 220. Another, that's 300. Gladiators are each 10. So that's 500. So that's 800. I think the archers were free. These are each 11. So that's another 200. We lost 1,100 gold. And then some long dead. So we spent less gold, for sure. And they lost a cap-only 2-turn, cap-only slow to recruit mage, as well as 3 very expensive mages, and we lost 2 much cheaper mages. Ultimately a loss, but we probably lost some stuff in the retreat too. We lost a thaumaturg retreating. That's another mage. But ultimately, a bit of a Pyrrhic victory for them. And then Yis attacks and kills really a PD. We get some unrest, thanks, and water gems, which are good. Those will need to go to Yis to eventually put up water elementals. Upcoming arena battle and worldwide unrest caused by the throne. So here's where we're at. Yis has done a pretty good job of taking back our southern stuff from Satis. We've got this force. It's going to move up to reinforce our troops here. This has got, we got 120 units, mixture of long dead and gladiators, and then a bunch, some ghouls and a bunch more slingers. And we're going to also be sending in some more Retarii, long dead, etc. And we're actually going to stay here and reanimate. Each one of these guys is a pretty capable reanimator. What's A for animate? So each one of these guys is going to be making 5+ long dead. So that's another, 30 plus that we're going to be able to add to our group. And this is pretty diminished. They've lost all of their mage support, or almost all their mage support. So I was pretty confident we would beat them in a second engagement if they do decide to push forwards. So that's nice. We're going ahead and moving Scasius. We're going to go try and take this throne and then push down here and then push Rillier out. Is sort of our plan here. You can see Jotun is asserting themselves back against Pan Van. We have a secondary force. We're building a palisade here, but we're also moving to go and hit Agartha on this flank. Try and split their forces. Got a palisade going up here, palisade going up here. I think it's just those 2 for now. And we're just going to keep recruiting more and more troops. And just not recruit. More mages. We spent all of our gold this turn. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and see what else we can do. Honestly, let's just watch. Let's just zoom in here real quick on this backline. And let's fast forward for a second, and then we'll play it from here. Just because this is tremendous. You can see all. Yeah, there he goes. So let's go ahead and see. We hit him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, and we were rolling a 6. We're rolling a 6 against an 18. But he had a really low roll, and we rolled. We had to roll a 6 multiple 6s to get this extra bonus. And we only even tied. But tying is good enough. We get the win on a tie. And then from here, he just, boom, flying shards, kills 2 mages. He gets whacked, kills another mage. And then he finally gets chopped down. Tremendous. But yeah, so we're going to be moving here to try and fight them again if they show up. Moving in on the flanks, and then we're finishing taking this stuff over here on the quiet side of our empire. So a lot of gray flags still out here. It's not gray, but that we want to go ahead and try and claim, but we're just being really pushed. I'm trying to make sure that I am not getting so focused on what's going on over here that I lose track of making these other expansions. So I think this is very, is well done. This heavy cav, though, would be pretty tough. Certainly we would kill them, but that would be a turn up, and then we'd have to come back down. I think this group is better served going to fight Agartha. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I would be better off if we went and took this. It's also pretty close. Calum is... I guess, they're birds. So we could probably reasonably claim this, but I can't afford another enemy either. Right now. Naked temple over here. Naked temple over here. A lot of naked temples we could go after. But in any event, that is turn 18. Let's go ahead and jump into turn 19. All right, we got some fights. This is us fighting the throne. And it is a throne, but there's absolutely nothing here. It's just heavy infantry. And we'll chop right through. Unfortunately, our gladiators do make it into the fight, so we're going to lose some of them. But I wanted them there as backup. We also have a battle here with Yes attacking into really Yes PD. We found a magic site. That's nice. We'll look at it in a sec. We got plus defense, helpful. 21 blood slaves and 170 gold. It's getting us very close to breaking into, almost halfway to empowering up for a blood 1 to break into blood. And a berserker pelt. Awesome. We then get to see, this is the arena. So we've got this centaur commander going in against this heroine with a direwolf pelt, who also, I suppose, she comes with this angel. Now, the angel says that her morale is broken. I don't know if that's true. It does appear to be true. I don't quite understand how that works. It must be part of the arena question. But the heroine chops through this guy, no problem. We get another fight against Van, and I suppose it's similar. Yeah, it must be the arena. They just send in an adventurer who gets killed by this heroine as well, I'm sure. He's really holding on here. There he goes. And then finally, Jotun. Jotun certainly could send in something big. They sent in a Scrotty with a fire sword in a feeble-minded thing. That's so much gold. Oof. Oof. That's so much gold to use on this kind of arena. I don't know if they knew it was a people's deathmatch or not, but yikes. Very, very yikes. All right, but anyway, we took the throne, and it is the Throne of Summer. So this has some good things and some bad things for us. So first, obviously fire gems are nice. Dominion is nice. Mage of Summer is going to give us a fire nature mage. We don't really have either. So that part is all very excellent. Getting the plus heat is a bit of a double-edged sword at the moment. So obviously, plus heat is going to be really helpful for our income. We're cold 3. This will make us only cold 2. That's a pretty big income difference. And during summer, we'll be even closer to just being at sort of normal, regular, good income. Why it's double-edged at the moment is just because we're fighting Agartha, who of course are cold-blooded. And so we're making it easier for them to fight in our dominion than it otherwise would be. So, so trade-offs. Now, we don't have access to a prophet, so I got to go and recruit up a Grand Thaumaturg. He's Holy 3. He can go over and claim this for us. I think yeah. So, we're going to go ahead and try for that. Our research is still god-awful. We're using our mages to fight, which is tough. It's a really a bad situation because you're sort of crippling yourself in the future. Now, we can potentially come back from it better than a lot of nations. We don't really pay for troops, or at least once this war is sort of resolved. And so we can put all that money into forts and mages. So we'll just have a lot of forts producing a lot of researchers. So we have a better chance of catching up than some other nations who maybe, won't be able to pump out as many mages. But we're going to start this palisade here. We got a palisade here. Palisade here. Yeah, I mean, we're working on 3 different forts right now. So we need to lab this up at some point. Now, all of our forts do need lab temple to produce mages. Except this one, I suppose. Now that it can produce these mages of summer without a lab. Without a temple. Still needs a lab. We got this site. That was last turn. I think I forgot to mention it. But it's going to give us some nature income. Which is pretty nice. And so we've combined all the forces we talked about last turn, and we're going to go ahead and push into Agartha here. We're also going to push in the north and see if we can't make them regret what they were doing. During all of this, I was saying the message is like, hey, there can still be peace in our time if you guys just back off. Give me back my province. There can be a peace so that we can go and focus on defeating the true enemy of Nazca Brillier. But they were not interested, at least not yet. So we're still going to go ahead and keep on fighting them. So yeah, we're going ahead and grabbed our throne, or have taken the territory. We're going to go ahead and keep moving down this way. Our income is pretty good. If we look at the graphs real quick, you can see I think we're pink, I'm sure, yeah. Yes, currently actually has even more provinces than we do because they recaptured all this this southern stuff. But they're doing quite well. They have no forts though. Problematic. We have much better income, partially because of the forts. They haven't really done any site searching because they've just been in this forever war with Brillier as well. They're researching better than we are because we sent our whole mage corps off to fight. Obviously, they don't have any dominion. And our army size is super inflated, courtesy of Long Dead. So, we'll go ahead and we'll jump into turn 20 here and do this one last turn. And then we'll call it there. 20. All right, we got some battles. I don't remember which of these need to be watched, so we'll just go ahead and click on them. Huge Relier army against a big army here. So we've got a good amount of chaff to try and eat these Mind Blasts. However, it didn't stop 3 Morvarks from getting blasted before our blessing even went off. But once the blessing does go off, these guys should mostly switch targets. And then we're just going to chop right through them in the back here. And there they go. Great victory for Yes. Yes lost 5 Morvarks though, which is tough, right? That's over 500 gold. Crazy expensive units. But they killed Rilier's army. Each of these Illithids is worth 50, so that's 900 gold. 1,000 gold, plus the rest of these sort of garbage stuff. I'm just not going to count the garbage, but it's probably another several hundred gold in garbage. And there's a big PD defense here. That's sort of how we got him. Try to leverage what Morvarks he does have to give them some barriers against all getting mind blasted to death. So very nice fight from Yes. I know we planned a lot on that. Here's the god, though. 2 and enemy maces, which is interesting. I don't think he's dexterous. So I would have thought that putting 2 weapons is kind of dicey. And a enchanted helmet, black steel full plate, and a burning pearl. And he has a limp. But he's going to do iron skin, ice shield, and quicken self. So he's pretty tough. 33 protection. No defense, but and protective force 20. So pretty and he's just going to with 2 weapons and quickness, he's going to chop through stuff really fast. Obviously we have nothing here but PD, but boop. Just deleted. So the god is involved. That's a yikes. We're going to push into Agartha, who has fled. So nothing here to see. We have another battle. Yis attacking Rillier. And it's just PD. Nice win there. We push in to Agartha with this force and run into Shardguard. This is where they went. This is not going to go well for us. We don't have enough Long Dead here. And no mage support. So this is pretty poorly planned by me. Go ahead. We can fast forward this disaster, but the gladiators are going to do some work. Oh no, never mind. We win this. It's still poorly planned, even though we win. Sending them in without mage support. So that, okay, that went better than expected. We lost 8 gladiators, probably more because they killed or took damage, and some long dead, and we killed 17 Shardguard. Okay, this is actually a great victory. They also, I guess, just didn't have any mage support or enough numbers. So that's pretty nice. I mean, 17 Shardguard is, what, 800 gold? So we're dealing a lot of gold damage to Agartha's forces, plus other crap. And we're losing gladiators, long dead. A lot of our losses are very replaceable. We have a fight against independence. This is just our little expanding force. Nothing here to see. We're just going to chop through them. And then Satis attacks into Yis. Now, I was hoping that these archers would do better. Firing into these guys who don't have, shielded helmets. He is now on the Elite Warriors. And they kill some, but not as many as we might like. And there's quite a lot here. Yeah, and some of them are firing their guys or wasting their arrows on these guys, these guys have big shields. So it would definitely be better firing at these Elite Warriors, but you'll see when they make contact here, our guys are going to get absolutely chopped to little tiny meat cubes. Yes. Little meat cubes. We're going to be attacked by knights. More children have disappeared. We lost Dominion where the knights are coming. And we gained a lab, pearls, death gems, and more blood slayers and a thunder whip. Unfortunately, that's all the way out here. So we're going to have to win this fight before we can consider this a useful lab. Definitely still some work to do there. Now, we're going to go ahead and actually retreat with this force. I think that they used up, almost all their gladiators. So, so while it was definitely very worthwhile, we killed a ton of Shardguard, there's not a combat effective force anymore. Here, we're going to be moving. We're going to go ahead and take 146 here and then look to move up. We're going to reinforce with another batch of Long Dead and Gladiators here, and then we'll use them together and move up. Is sort of the idea. Reclaim my Labyrinth of Skulls. So we're trying to push into Agartha here. Down here, we're going to go ahead and take this from Rillier. I think, somewhere in here, Scasius has become diseased, which I think it's from this tile. So it's this turn. He became diseased, which sucks. We're going to lose access to this book. And we're going to lose access to him being an heir too. But that's pretty unfortunate. Just a bit unlucky there. Now, we don't currently have any coastal cities we could be getting the benefit from anyway, but still. Besides that, we're sending out another contingent of Long Dead up here. Caleb took these knights. And then this is going to go and reinforce with this group to try and, again, harass this flank in a non-committal way. While our main mage-supported army attacks from this sort of... attacks them from the west, I suppose, in our east. So yeah, that is where we're at. This throne is a little big. Probably not taking this anytime real soon until we can finish this conflict. This throne is just Deer Tribe and a Lore Master. More likely we'll be able to fight this in the future. But again, it's hard to focus on thrones when you're sort of in a war. From Yis's perspective, the god is right here and is in position to kill his PD dump potentially. We're expanding outwards towards their capital down here. I'm going to push them off land here. You can see there's a fort. They've got all, like this, yeah, I think I mentioned, they've got all this stuff. Satis should be fighting and keeping them off of these land borders. I think, not fighting us. Don't let... Now, we're obviously here, but, you know, let's not focus on that. I want them to be doing this. I think that Nazca and Rillier is going to be worse than for everyone to deal with than Sceleria and Yis. But in any event, this is what it is. And, yeah. So now it's turn 20. I think I'll see everybody back for a live turn on turn 21. So thanks for joining me and have a nice day.